viewers, let's take a bit of a look at the new F7. So first up, it has some scenarios on Cajon Pass. So it has switching it up. Rail fans have arrived at Barstow to a heritage locomotive event. Show them your switching skills. Up, down, left, right, A, B, B, A. It's early in the morning, time to create a formation in Barstow Yard West that will be used later in the day. Horn on the 4th of July. The rail fans are waiting at Barstow Yard for the 4th of July fireworks to start and your arrival. Okay, we'll probably play one of those on a stream. Let's pop back out of here. Route, Cajon Pass, timetable, and we'll have a look at the F7. So there's quite a few timetable services. Looks like what, about 25 or so? Something along those lines. And they're in various places, so Barstow, Victorville, San Bernardino, Hesperia, Barstow, much like the others. Yeah, there's a mixture of very long ones, which is probably a full run of the route, I imagine. San Bernardino, Barstow, yes, it is. And a lot of half ones, so San Bernardino, Hesperia, and a few shorter ones, which is Barstow to Victorville. All right, let's just go in and have a look at one then. So let's just make sure this is during the day, 12:12, lunchtime, good stuff. Not going to take it for much of a drive, but we'll have a quick look. So the locomotive itself is basically the one from Clinchfield with a few changes and additions, mostly around the livery and the Mars light. But let's take a look. Alrighty. Let's have a look outside for a start. So it's got the shiny reflective panel on the outside. Very nice red and silver livery, nicely detailed. I think everything actually stands out a bit better than it did on the Clinchfield version. And there in the front we can see the new Mars light, which we'll turn on and give you a look at it in a moment. And there's the A and the B unit. The B is the cabless, driverless slug in the middle, and the A units have the cabs. And they do normally run in this sort of formation, so with a cab at each end of the set leading, so that they can be run around easily. Alright, so in the cab, it's pretty much the same as the Clinchfield, so we'll set our unit selector to 3. Let's turn on our generator field. Set our transition to series parallel, which is where you want to be most of the time when you're driving forwards. If you need to be dynamic braking, you put it in the B position for braking, and then you just use your throttle as though you would a dynamic handle in the others. But let's go into 1. Let's put our reverser in. You'll notice I set that to 3 before. I didn't explain it. That's the number of locomotives at the front of your train. Throttle handle up here. Speedo. Horn, of course. Impressively loud. Let's turn on our gauge lights, and down here we've got a bell hiding under the I don't know if I can get to it. There we go. Mechanical bell. Continuing our setup, we've got the rotor valve, which has to be set to freight. It can also be passenger or freight, so you want it to be set to freight. Independent brake is fully applied. You'll normally find that when you come into a locomotive now on new routes, and the automatic brake is in this case first service. We've got a sander over here for leading sand and trailing sand. You can open the quarter panel window and the main windows, and of course the doors. You can't go into the cab. You can set your transition from automatic to manual. Don't know what that does, it's just set on automatic. And you can set it from start and run. You can stop and start the engines should you wish, but you will always find them running when you come into the game. The other thing you should always find is that the brakes are cut in. Alright, let's get into forward. And let's pop on our number lights are already on. Let's pop on our headlights, which are here somewhere. There we go. Headlights on. Okay. Let's throttle up a little. Just make sure that can actually run. Just release the automatic brake so we don't get our grumpy tooltips. We can see on the ammeter needle here that we are making power, so we can release our independent brake as well. The independent brakes this one to here. And a couple of big honks. Because of course we're going to start moving. Or rolling away, one or the other. Must be a bit of a heavy train. We are in a grade, so we'll give it a bit more. Let's pop outside. We can see our headlights are on. Number boards are on. Let's turn on the Mars light. So it's got two configurations. It can be on red. Let's pop out there. So we have a red light showing. And you can see it does move around. And we can put it on full. Pop out again. And now we've got a white light. And again, it's moving around. At night time, you can actually see the cone moving around on the ground, which is quite cool. Cab lights are up here. You can put your sun visors down should you desire to, which on Cajon Pass, yeah, you might need to. You've got the hand wiper, or you can just turn your wipers on, if I can remember where that is. There's the cab heater. Maybe you switch around somewhere. Or maybe there are only hand wipers on this one. That is possible. Where's our wiper switch? Oh, there we go. Off they go. Very good. Alright, let's jump outside for a moment. And let's crank her up. Let's listen to the horn first. Bit of bell action. And more importantly, the loud lever. It's okay to run your loco into the red for a short period of time. Don't let it stay there. They do sound quite nice. They sound fairly realistic. They are, of course, a little bit of an anachronism in modern times, but they're billed as being heritage units that are running the occasional freight. So if you can handle that, enjoy them. Alright then, that's about all we need to see on this one. Actually, no, let's just bring it to a stop. Just so you can see how to do that. So if you're stopping a train, throttle back to 0. And we'll just use first service. And you can see that's already starting to brake us. If you're interested in dynamics, let me just release this train brake. And we'll put our transition lever, and you must go back to idle before you do this. You should sit in off for a while to let things calm down, but we went back to idle ages ago. So I've now gone into B for dynamic braking, and I'll use the throttle lever again. And you'll notice now the amp gauge has gone the other way, so it's gone orange. And we are now generating power instead of using it, and that's getting burned off in the resistor grids up on top of the loco. I'm not sure if this registers on the amp gauge. It does. Look at that. They're not the most powerful dynamics on the world, because they're barely holding us on this 1.1% gradient. I'm not too sure how heavy this train is. Let's have a quick look. It is... It's only 2,000 tonnes, so... It's not that big a train. Oh, we're starting to slow a little bit, so... Yeah, not the most powerful dynamics in the world. Fortunately, the F7 does go up and down the easier track paths on Cajon, so that will make it much easier to use. So, see you later, F7s. I do love the reflective panels on the side. I reckon they're really cool. And it's all bright and shiny because, as they say, it's a heritage unit. Well, that's really all I wanted to show you with the F7, so I hope this has been useful for you. Just a quick little introduction. And, yeah, if you like it, thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks heaps for watching. Bye now.